The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Tracks on fire, burning the world fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shining, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light. Jumping up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Tracks on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shining, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light.
What is up, YouTube? Some really bad news today. The body of Liam A. King was found in a retention pond right near where he went missing. Okay, we're going to jump right into the press conference because the press conference is going on right now. And plus, I'll show y'all some video that I shot out there that I couldn't get uploaded till I got to a Wi-Fi signal. So let me share this video with you guys real quick, and we'll get right into everything today. But just definitely make sure y'all like the video, even though it's sad circumstances. Let me share this. Let's jump right into it.
Okay, we'll get started. I think it's 2:30. I want to thank you, the press, for coming and reporting this, getting it out to the public. It helped out quite a bit. But this is not the outcome that we expected. We discovered Liam King's body at 10:15 this morning in a pond located approximately a tenth of a mile from where he was staying at. The body is going to be sent to Chapel Hill medical examiner's office to be examined and to determine cause of death. And I want to thank the community for their outpouring of support, meals, water. We couldn't ask for any better support from the neighbors and citizens down in that area, the businesses in southern Randolph County that supported us. The number of volunteers that showed up that were experienced in search and rescue. We had them all the way from New Hanover County. And, you know, that's what it's all about, sheriffs helping sheriffs in a time of need. And I wish we had positive information to give you, but hopefully we can learn something from this and be better next time. Our goal was to find him alive, and we did not achieve that goal. I want to thank all the people behind me that spent most of the last 50 hours working either at the airport or at our command bus on Forest Hills Drive. I will open it up for any questions that you may have.
Sheriff, we're sounding pretty emotional over there. Can you speak to that?
He was found in a pond, Captain Kirk.
Anytime you
A
deal with
tenth
a
of a mile from
child,
the home.
you know, you become somewhat emotional. You know, we all have kids. I've got grandkids, and you put yourself in that position. And, you know, this child had a life to live, and it was taken away from him. And I know he's in a much better place now, though.
Is there any sort of reason to believe there was any foul play involved in this? Or is it confirmed that he did wrong?
We're in the process of investigating that at the present time. We're not going to rule it out. We're going to check and make sure that everything's good with the body, and the medical examiner will do a thorough investigation and examination
Thank you,
of
Dolly.
Liam's
Very
body.
heartbreaking.
Around how long?
It will take several weeks.
What was he doing?
I'm going to show y'all the area in just a minute.
Visiting somebody. Can you give us any more information on that? Who was he visiting?
Liam was with his mother's boyfriend at the time.
Huh.
And the boyfriend actually lived at that residence, and he was overseeing the child during that period when he disappeared.
Was he alone? Was the mom there too, or was he alone?
No, the mom was at another location.
Who found him and what time exactly was he discovered?
The body was found approximately 10:18 this morning a.m. by Brunswick County Search and Rescue.
Can you confirm if Liam was found in the same pond you were talking about yesterday that you guys were working to drain?
No, this was a different pond. The first pond was a priority for us due to the location of it. It was on the property or closest to the property where he was at. And it
I told you them
gave us
yards
a
had ponds in
red
them.
flag that he could possibly be in that pond. You know, after searching it, draining it, we moved on to the next pond.
How many miles away was that from?
It was approximately 1/10 of a mile away from the residence.
Was that an area he frequented with his family, friends?
He had been there a couple of times.
And can you explain to us, just for people who don't know this area, just how many ponds are in that
A
little
bunch.
area?
I'll show y'all guys in a minute.
We, you know, we're a farming community here in Randolph County, and you know, there's ponds that I never knew existed in that area until we started walking, and you would find ponds located here and there. Looking at GIS, it gives you a better understanding of just how many farm ponds are in Randolph County. Quite a few.
And hearing this from some people in the community who were saying that they were frustrated that they weren't able to go out and help search, can you just help us inform our viewers of why it was so important that it was law enforcement led?
As I stated in the last press conference, you know, the best thing they could do to help the citizens was to check their own property in that area. And this limb was found on someone else's property. We did not want people that were not trained to come in and tamper with evidence.
This is heavily wooded,
Even
guys.
disrupt
Heavily wooded.
evidence that
1/10
could
of a
be
mile in
used
heavy
for
woods.
further investigation down the road if we needed it. And that would, you've got people that are untrained that don't know really what to look for. And that's why we had trained individuals go out initially and look at all the possible places he could possibly be.
What kind of evidence were you looking for?
Anything in this type case, from clothing, lost shoe.
They wanted
Just any
people checking their
indication
own
of the
property.
direction in which he may have been traveling.
I know we're still early in this investigation, but could we expect charges against the boyfriend?
We will have to, we're at the very beginning of the investigation, and we will have to look at everything, take all the evidence for the district attorney and go from there. It's too early to say.
There's a program called Project Lifesaver that's implemented in Wake County. It provides bracelets to kids who have cognitive impairments for police to be able to track them. Is that something you guys could possibly implement in the future, or plan to implement something like that in case this does occur in the future?
That would be very helpful to us. We have that same program with dementia patients here in Randolph County. And, it would be very helpful. It would lead us straight to that person. And Liam was not subject to doing this, on a consistent basis. So I don't know.
There's
if he
no
would be,
fence around these ponds.
eligible or, I guess, warranted to have a bracelet. I could see where if a child does that quite often, it would help us quite a bit in finding, locating that person.
We're selling trackers. Don't worry, Sheriff.
Implementing a program like that in the future.
We would look at it. The first thing is knowledge. I want to get someone to come in and talk to us about. I learned a lot, and we all learned a lot about dealing with the cognitive decline, the person who we think is slow, but they're really not slow. They're smart, and we want to learn as much as we possibly can about the condition he has.
Yes.
And
I had to learn a
there's,
lot.
A program that is circulating in the state of North Carolina now that offers that, and we're talking neighboring sheriffs about having that program come to us, and where we could sit down and learn more about autism.
I had to do it with Sebastian Rogers. I didn't know much.
I do not know.
Do you know if his father is involved in any way in his life? Or was he?
I think he is. Yes.
Yes, he is.
Have you spoken to the family? How are they doing?
We spoke to the father.
They're tore up, as you might could imagine. The mother is. She was out there every minute of that search time, and she's doing as any mother would do, coping with it day minute by minute. And just pray for her, pray for the family, and pray for these people behind me. They're the ones that pulled him out of the pond. They're the ones that had to put aside their normal daily activity of being with their family to deal with this. They're the heroes that I look up to each and every day.
Was he found on the edge of the pond or within the pond?
It was near the edge, and we had checked that pond before, initially, and there was nothing. We did not locate the body.
That was my next question, actually, was there any evidence that maybe he had been wandering around these past few days and then just ended up there, or did it seem like maybe he had been there the whole time?
Well, it appeared to our investigators that he went to the first pond that we tracked him with GPS, the phone ping. It showed that he was at that pond, and then went down a main logging road, and that logging road ended up at this pond. And that was a tenth of a mile from the house, approximately 700 feet, maybe a little over.
So you're saying he had a phone on his person?
He had a phone, but it did not operate a lot of the times. We did try to use the technology that we have to ping his location, and we utilized that to put us at the first pond.
The ponds are not very deep.
The pond was very important for us to look at and search.
So to clear up some confusion with some people who obviously are not here and doing the investigation online, whenever you learned of his disappearance, you saw the GPS where he was located. You started at the pond, correct?
We started in the house where he originally was, and we searched every bit, and then we continued outside and did a perimeter search of the outside, and it led us to the pond.
Do you have a final message for our viewers?
No, I just want to say that thank you for your support, Randolph County citizens. They're the best, and I want to thank these men and women behind me for putting their family to the side and going to help someone else's family. That's what it's all about. Just continue to pray for the King family because they will need it.
Can I ask you, you mentioned that it was Brunswick County. Of course, they're Coastal County, they're not close to here. Was there something about the expertise of the technology that brought to that helped lead to that discovery?
No, I don't think it had anything to do with the expertise. That was their next area to search. And, I think anybody trained in search and rescue would have found the body.
Can you confirm, was the mom, boyfriend, and the father of Liam a part of the search efforts, and were there any other family members who came out?
We communicated with them.
The father lives
throughout
in a
the
neighboring
search.
county.
But as far as them participating in it, no.
And he did not have a history of wandering.
No.
Okay. Do you know what the boyfriend was doing at the time that he left the house?
That will be part of our investigation.
Can you share more just about, I know we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but just curious about the other jurisdictions that came in, what kind of resources they were able to bring in? I know there were some dive teams, different things like that. Can you just kind of elaborate on that?
We had technology from drones, airplanes. We had SBI airplane. We had our airplane that we have. We have helicopters. Highway Patrol had their helicopter. Brunswick County brought their helicopter. We had infrared sonar for underwater rescue. And dive teams from all around the state, search and rescue teams. And is there anything else major? But we had an outpouring of support. And, my phone is loaded with messages wanting to come and help. And, when something bad happens in a community such as this, it brings the community together. Going out and trying to help this family with their problem. And that's what it's all about.
Do you know what time he actually actually went missing to when you got the call that he had been missing?
That's still in the investigation phase of it.
Talk about lessons learned. I know a lot of people and resources came in. What, throughout this experience, do you think the sheriff's department learned? Like, was there any equipment that you think would have benefited in your search that I could get? Any equipment to get more, like in general, for search and rescue? What did you learn?
Well, Scott, the first thing is phone service in that area. We had none. And we had to
Told you, no phone service, none.
get with emergency operations, state emergency management, and they helped us with the system that is used. We used out west some time ago for phone service. We're in the process of purchasing that here, I think, with Randolph County Emergency Management. We just haven't received it yet. So we
No
we
internet, no phone.
acted with, I guess, the best way we could with the phone service being the way it was, and we quickly got it up and working much quicker than I thought we would. And but working with the state and federal folks, they said we did a great job. You know, we don't do this but once every 4 or 5 years, and it seemed like we didn't have any bad critiques from it, other than not locating Liam before he went to the pond.
He was already gone time they got there.
Resources, was that FirstNet that you were responding, you were referring to?
It was
FirstNet, Starlink, and Verizon. Did your Viper resources work out? Did you bring up any Viper interoperability to help with that? We did, but I think Captain Grady can probably speak to that better.
Evan Grady, Randolph County Emergency Management. So we did bring in a specialist that is trained through the state North
they
Carolina
found him
Emergency
deceased in a
Management
pond.
System to help deal with communication issues, failures, shortcomings. So he, through Chatham County, brought some equipment, a trailer, some cellular data equipment, and Starlink equipment to boast what we could in that vicinity. As the sheriff said, the site presented a lot of issues with connectivity, and we did the best we can by bringing in that resource. Emergency management, our goal is to bring in resources that we don't have currently or that we need in other mutual aid departments or other state agencies might have. So the liaison is the emergency management, working closely with the sheriff's office, helping to identify needs of the responders on scene and getting those here as quickly as possible. That was very effective in this case, from manpower to equipment to food. The process worked very well.
Sheriff, you mentioned the emotional side of this, and I'm just wondering what kind of support is available for those responders and volunteers who kind of invested themselves emotionally in this and had this unfortunate tragic outcome.
Yeah. Back in 2018, when I started as a sheriff here, we started a peer support team, which is a group of individuals that are trained and also work alongside you day to day, that can counsel you, that can look and see if there's any inconsistencies with your behavior after seeing something like this or experiencing something like this. So we're here helping each other, and that will continue.
We don't need chips. We sell trackers here at Dolly Vision.
This is one of the longest search and rescues we've ever had here in Randolph County.
Do we think that he would have been found sooner if the service was better out there, since he did have the phone on him? Do we know if that was like an issue with locating him?
No, I don't think the phone service played a huge part. we were there, we would have done, even if we had grade A phone service, we would have done what we did initially. And I don't think it would play a part, no.
Just to get some clarification, had that pond that he was found in, had that already been searched?
Yes, it had. We had went around it and used sticks along the side, and we did not locate the body. Any other questions? I want to thank you personally. I know y'all spend a lot of time down there. I appreciate it. And anytime you deal with the death of a child,
It's hard.
You've got to handle it very tactfully. And you guys and girls did a great job doing that. So thank you.
Okay, there you have it. He was in the care of his mama's boyfriend. He took the eyes off the kid, and the kid vanished fairly quickly. 500 feet. It doesn't take long to get 500 feet. Now, I am going to show you this area from the videos that I shot yesterday. Now, you know, when I shot these videos that he hasn't been found yet. So you're going to hear me say they're searching. I'm going to show the searchers. I'm going to show the police the efforts they were making to find his child. Now, I do have some videos that I haven't uploaded yet where I show these ponds, different ponds in the area. And if you remember last night, I told you I seen locals out there searching their ponds. Now, when he says this is farmland, you got to understand this is deeply wooded area, right? And you would say, well, 500 feet, you can see it, right? Well, you're talking 500 feet in the woods. You're not talking 500 feet in the city or on a city block, okay? Now, down the road, yeah, you can see 500 feet. But if you look in the back of your house, there's a pond, and then there's woods, and then there's another adjacent pond in a neighbor's yard. There's woods in between those two ponds. So you're not going to be able to see both ponds. You're going to be able to see the pond in your yard, and then when you walk through the woods and see your neighbor's yard, you'll see the pond in their yards. And a lot of these ponds, you know, could be for cattle or different things, but basically some of the ponds that I seen were like fishing holes. Okay, like you had a little dock and, you know, no cattle, no cows, no nothing, just little ponds in the yards. And when I say little, I don't mean that little. They're pretty damn big size ponds. It's really beautiful out there. And I'm getting ready to show y'all guys this on my Facebook here. Let me pull this video up. All right, what's up, guys? I could only load it to my Facebook to get it uploaded quickly for you guys because, you know, so this way you can see what is going on out there and what kind of area we're dealing with here. Is this blown up? Okay, here we go. And this is the road that they live adjacent to. So you can already see the woods, and there's really nothing out here. Now, I had to shoot the videos this way because, like I said, there's no phone signal whatsoever. So you cannot make a phone call out there. You couldn't call for help if you wanted to. All right. Secondly, there's no internet whatsoever. And at this point, they were still searching for little Liam. It is Dolly on the scene of where little Liam King went missing. You can hear the helicopter. If you listen closely, we can hear the helicopter flying above. There's been searchers out in these woods behind me all day long. I was out here earlier, and I could see them out here searching. Of course, what appears to be an abandoned outbuilding. And I've seen at least 10 searchers in this area right here along the edge of these woods that you see right behind me. Now, the police do have this area blocked off, so it is really hard to get down the road where they're at. They don't really want people out here in the woods searching unless you're a trained searcher. And of course, they don't want anybody messing up the trail or the scent for the dogs searching for this small child. Now, he is 7 years old. He is autistic, believed to be nonverbal, and they say if you approach him, he's scared of strangers and he will most likely run. Now, this is a real rural area.
The mic works.
Really no Wi-Fi signal out here. So right now we're pre-taping this video that will air later tonight, so you guys can get a good look at what's going on out here. Like I said, there is a building directly behind me. You see it. They were searching this building just a little while ago. Police are still on the scene. You cannot actually get to where the command center is because of the road being blocked. But there are still searchers actively in these woods, helicopters, drones, things of that nature, just to make sure they don't leave any stone unturned. Like I said, they do have the road up here closed off. And it appears that they were at a family, friends possibly, and they left the child outside.
Well, now we
And
know
of
it was the
course,
boyfriend.
They come back out a few minutes later, and he is absolutely missing. So it has been roughly 24 hours that this child has been missing. Police right here still on the scene, pulling up behind us. As you can see, this is where they have the area blocked off so nobody can get down the road. I guess unless you live in this area, and they just don't want anybody interfering with the search. Like I said, it's pretty much like a needle in a haystack out here. So, but we're on the scene to get you the story live. Hopefully this little boy will turn up, and miracles do happen. So you're watching Dolly Vision, of course. Let me get off to the side because this is a busy traffic area, and hopefully something happens and this young man turns up tonight. It's getting dark quick, so with that said, we want to make sure that we stay safe out here, out of the way of traffic, out of the way of the police. And right now it's an active scene. Helicopters are in the sky searching. Where is little Liam King, seven-year-old autistic young man, missing from Asheboro, North Carolina. So not very good internet signal, not at all. So we're doing our best in this rural area to bring you the story as it happens. And of course, this video will not air till later this evening. Hopefully by the time this video airs, we will have some answers to what is going on.
We do have the answers, just not the answers that we wanted, guys. I was hoping time this video aired that he would have been found safe, but we knew they were searching that retention pond. I even talk about it, that it was going to take 10 hours to drain it. There's other ponds in the area, and believe it or not, these houses are so spread out, so far apart, that's why I was like, this is a needle in a haystack. The area is so big, and there's so much woods and fields and ponds, and when I left there last night and earlier this morning, I had this bad feeling. Like I was hopeful when I got there, really hopeful. You know, you want to keep those prayers out there, and you want to pray that miracles happen. But when I left last night, especially last night when it got dark, I knew we needed a miracle. right? I knew we needed a miracle. I was like, this is bad, because it had already been 24 hours. And usually these helicopters, they have flare technology, sensing technology, and they didn't pick up no heat signatures, right?
I've been super busy with school and work, but wanted to say thanks for keeping us up to date with this case. Hope you and PJ had fun on vacation. Red heart emoji.
We did, and I mean, there's a reason. Of course, I came straight back, went straight. I had drove 13 hours from Florida back here, and then got here, slept a day, got back up, drove 4.5 hours, but roughly with traffic, 5 hours to back to North Carolina, because this is on the Tennessee side of North Carolina. So it's a pretty good ways from Virginia Beach. And, there was supposed to be a prayer vigil last night at the church. So, I'm rushing, trying to get there so I could be there for the prayer vigil. And the prayer vigil didn't take place. Okay. It didn't take place. So there was nobody at the church but me. But they advertised this prayer vigil. So it ain't a big deal. I ain't mad about that, because the church was only, roughly about 10 minutes from where the location of where the child went missing. And I'm sure the search efforts were more important than a prayer vigil, and usually when you have these prayer vigils, to me, it's kind of giving up hope, and so I was thinking, maybe hope's still alive and they're working hard. I am worn out. Yes, I am tired. I am tired right now. A lot of driving I've done over this. I've done some driving, but listen, I know it's for a good reason. And if this was my family, I would want people to do it for me, just like you would. So, some people put in that extra effort to do these things and to be the voice for these kids. And to do that, it is a lot of work. Okay. It is absolutely a lot of work. And thank you guys, because a lot of you make this possible. I couldn't be on these scenes of these crimes for these missing kids and fighting for these kids if it wasn't for each and every one of you guys out there watching right now. People donating so I have a place to stay, donate so I got food and gas in the car. If it wasn't for these things, I could sit here and talk about it for you guys, but I couldn't be your eyes, your voice, and on the front lines of the battle like I am all over the country, without the help of each and every one of you. So big virtual hugs to you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, because we as a team, and I mean this, because Dolly Vision is a team. You're part of the vision, right? I'm Dolly. You guys are the vision, and we make a lot of things happen with us. By myself, I'm weak, but with each and every one of you, I am one of the strongest forces on YouTube. Okay. And we cannot be stopped. We can't be stopped. But at this time, they're saying it's rumored that they're draining a pond. There is a few small areas of water here. So I don't know if anything's going to turn up. With that, they say it could take up to 10 hours to drain this pond. So we may not know what's in that pond till tomorrow morning. Right now, we haven't heard the mother speak. We have spoken with the father via Facebook, and we asked him, was there anything we could do to help him? And there's a little bit of a language barrier, of course. And he said that he believes the FBI has it, and at this time, there's really nothing we could do for him. As you can see, they're out here on side by side. Yes, guys, I've had that mic since Cody Bigsby. If you go back and watch my Cody Bigsby videos from what's Cody Bigsby, 2 years ago, I've had this mic since Cody Bigsby. I don't always use it, but I've had it, and so I wanted the police to know, hey, that I was with the media, because I used to wear a shirt that said media and searcher on the back. If y'all watch the intro videos where I'm looking for Michael Monkey Vaughn, I also had this microphone. And I had on the media shirt, so the police know I'm just not some weirdo walking around, you know, that I'm recording something. You know what I'm saying? They know you're somebody, you got a microphone, they say, okay, well, he must be recording. Guys, searching. You see the searchers behind me pulling in. So hopefully we get some answers for what is going on. But the police are still searching. They're still doing their thing. You can see them on the side by sides coming in now. Other police circling. And like I said, I just watched a bunch of searchers go into the woods to the right of me over here. These woods you see right behind me. There is a group of at least 10 to 12 in these woods actively searching. Like I said, there is some abandoned buildings out here in this area. Oh yeah, the logo, it says Dolly Vision True Crime, and then on the sides there's a YouTube play button. So it says YouTube on the side of the mic, and then it says Dolly Vision on the front. Well, it's on both sides. It says Dolly Vision on both sides, and then a YouTube play button on both sides. That, of course, they're going through with a fine-tooth comb to make sure this little boy hasn't gotten scared and hunkered down somewhere. Right now, we are... Now, mine don't have diamonds on it, like on the Tita. His microphone is diamond encrusted. Like, I don't know if he glued diamonds to it or whatever the hell he did. But his has little diamonds on it, right? Like sapphires or something. I don't know. But mine ain't that blingy, okay? I'm not that blingy of a person. Passing the 24-hour mark on the search for Liam King. Every minute that goes by is critical, you know, so every minute counts. Hopefully we will get the answers that everybody wants, and this boy will be found safe. Platinum. And return to his family. A lot, you know, this looks like this is just a case of a kid that eloped because he is autistic. And right now there's really no signs of foul play or any wrongdoing in this case. That don't mean that won't change, but as of now, it just seems that the family's doing everything they can in hopes that their son will be found. Now, we're going to remain on scene. We are going to do some droning out here, and we're going to take part in trying to do what we can to bring answers for this little boy. Really scary situation. There's no street lights out here, as you can see. This area, and you can see people are circling and looking. So not a good situation. Helicopter still in the sky. At this point, I don't see any drones up, but we are a little ways down from the location. But you got to remember, when kids go missing, we're within 1 mile radius of the home. So this kid could be anywhere, and hopefully they find him before it gets dark, because as you can see right now, it is getting dark really, really fast. So let's all pray that a miracle happens and he's in these woods. I don't know if we're going to be able to see the searchers in the woods, but I do have some video from earlier where you can see them going into these set of woods right behind me. Very quiet out here. You can hear the crickets. You know, you would think a small child lost in the woods that there would be some crying, some noise to listen for. But let's just pray little Liam's okay. And like I said, thank you, Brenda. I think I passed the building that was... I'm going to try to get some of this video uploaded for you guys real quick. I got to do it from my phone because I shot all this stuff from my phone. Okay, am I supposed to sign these hats? Yeah. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Where am I supposed to sign them at?
None look white, I guess. None of them had a direction, really. So
Sign them on the white?
yeah.
Am I signing Dolly or am I signing my name
I
on it?
don't know how you sign things.
All right, hold on. Let me sign these hats real quick because PJ's shipping things out, and I'll get to these videos. And if you ain't got a Dolly hat yet, make sure you get one. There's that one.
Thank you.
God, there's that one.
Thank you.
All right, here's pen.
I'm supposed to sign these somewhere too.
Are you? Okay.
Come on, dog.
All right, if you ain't got a Dolly Vision hat yet, let me show you got real quick what they look like. Get them while supplies last. If you want them signed, let me know. Usually, you know, I should have signed them underneath so you can wear them. But, you know, if you want it autographed, then it's a great way to support the channel. Go on, Rangy. Go. Get out. All right, let's finish this. Needed to be searched. They did search that building. I didn't see them find anything in that building. Of course, I didn't hear anybody scream, "Here he is," or anything like that. They do have flashlights on them, so they were up there shining lights into the building, and hopefully we get some results. All right, I'm posting another video. You can hear the dogs. I can hear the dogs. You hear them barking in the woods. You can hear the helicopters if you listen quietly. And it is getting dark pretty fast out here. So, and I can believe once it gets dark, you're not going to be able to see nothing in these woods. I haven't seen a street light in at least 5 miles of the location. So you're taking the first look at what is going on out here. And I will continue to stay out here and bring you the story. Until then, check in next time. Okay. So I'm uploading a video of me driving around the area, so you will be able to see some of these retention ponds. It's uploading now. As soon as it is available on Facebook, I will pull it up from my Facebook account and show you this. Now, this is me driving around the area. Okay. And that's, you know, they talk about the logging roads. You'll be able to see some of these logging roads and, of course, the retention ponds with people searching the ponds, stuff like that. It's just a matter of getting the videos up. You got to remember, the internet was terrible. Now, I've been places with bad internet, right? Because I keep a hotspot box with me. So even if my phone don't have internet, I usually have internet on my hotspot box. I keep it for my camper so I can watch TV, Netflix, stuff like that when I'm on the road. And I had no signal on the hotspot box. I had no signal on the phone and wasn't able to make phone calls. Like I could call out, right? And PJ couldn't hear me. I could hear her every now and then. So it was like almost like walkie-talkie. It would break up so bad that you couldn't even hold a whole conversation. They need to get a cell phone tower out there. I think that would solve a lot of this situation. But just terrible news. This wasn't the news that I wanted to get because I was almost back when I got the news. I was still a ways out, around a little before Emporia. So you got to ride basically to get to where Liam is for me is you got to ride across Virginia and then you go down into Carolina. It's not actually too far from Tennessee. It's near Durham. Okay. So Chapel Hill area of North Carolina, down past that a little ways. And it's a good little hike out into the middle of nowhere. It's not far from major cities. It's just rural. Like it's when you leave them cities and you start riding that your ass out into the country, that's where he's at. And like I said, there ain't very many gas stations, there ain't very many convenience stores. It ain't very much out there. Like I know people like to live in these areas, but I couldn't do it. Were they wiped out by Hurricane Helena? No, I don't think so. I just think this is a remote area that technology hasn't caught up with yet. Okay, hasn't really caught up. Huge thank you to the few who sent us gifts to the P.O. box. Yes, thank you. I got to see them when I got home tonight. There was somebody that sent me some turtles that go like I guess wall art, that were homemade. They were like it almost looked like, what is that, like when you stitch things into big loops? I forget what it's called. But there were some of those. Somebody sent me a pop doll, which it was like the Chainsaw Man, some buttons, some ink pens. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. And we're going to continue to be covering these cases all over the country as things happen. Now, usually I don't cover cases of kids that run off, right? Only when there's certain circumstances that broadly a cross stitch. That's it, cross stitch. These look kind of cross stitched, but they say like turtle gang on them, and which is pretty cool. Thank you. So but anytime a child goes missing under 10 years old, and I believe this kind of falls under DOLLY law, is that where I live is Western North Carolina. Okay. That Amber Alert is issued with children under 10 years old. Usually, if you're a teenager, I don't worry about you too much when you run off, because I figure, hey, you're probably just mad at your parents. You're going to come back. You're big enough to take care of yourself. So I don't so much worry about teenagers. But any child under the age of 10 that goes missing is in extreme danger. And I wanted to touch on the ponds a little bit, because some of you guys may not know. Now, listen, I'm from Georgia. I played in ponds, creeks, ditches, you name it, just a little old country boy. The bad thing about these ponds are the dirt underneath them gets so soft and you will sink in it like quicksand. Okay. I remember I was walking through this creek one day and my leg went straight down into the dirt. And when that happens, it becomes like a suction cup to you. Some of you may know this, right? And you can get stuck. I remember one time I fell over because my leg got stuck in the mud walking through this creek of water. And when I did, my arm got stuck because I put my arm down to brace myself from falling, and my arm went down into the dirt. And that dirt and mud, especially Georgia clay, will suction to you. So you're kind of stuck and you're kind of fighting it, right? And you're pretty much stuck in the water. So, and then, of course, I pulled myself out with a rock and, and worked my leg loose. But the ground underneath this water the water soaking into the ground is like really thick mud. Okay. So it's possible that baby Liam stepped out into this water and he got stuck. Okay. Or he fell in it. And when he went to brace himself, he got stuck in the mud. This mud is like quicksand. Okay. Now you won't completely sink under, but what it will do, it's like a vice grip. It will grab you. And if you're not strong enough to pull your leg out of that mud or your arms out of that mud with that suction, you could easily drown or get trapped in this water. And then, basically try to fight as long as you can until you lose the fight, right? It's pretty scary. Like, if y'all ever walked through some really, really bad mud, how you sink into it. That's how a lot of these retention ponds are that have been sitting there. And maybe if he would have just stepped out into it, yeah, he could have got out, right? But that water will grab you. That mud will grab you. And the mud around the pond itself is super soft. right? Anybody been down to the pond or to the creeks fishing, and you kind of learn these things to watch your step, because some of that mud is really, really soft, and once and it's deep. I mean, deep. You would be terrified. Yeah, it can be bad. It can be bad, right? And you gotta. That's the thing. You never really want to go around water by yourself, right? You don't want to go out like diving by yourself, swimming by yourself, or to a pond really by yourself. If you fall in or something happens, you hit your head, okay, the video uploaded. Damn, that was pretty quick. I'm kind of surprised. All right, let's jump over to this video. So we're in the area where Liam A. King, 7-year-old autistic child, has gone missing. Okay, this is a little trailer park home over here to my left of, I don't know if y'all can see the trailers right there. Yeah, y'all can see it. But this is the area. Now, the police do have the road blocked off, all right? But we're going to take a little drive and continue to at least take a look at what we can find here. So I don't want to move too slow. We got traffic behind us. So I'm going to pull in here real quick. Pull over here. Let these cars go by. But we're going to keep a lookout, because believe it or not, the search teams are in the edge of these woods, and they're searching abandoned homes. Okay, there's a few houses out here, outbuildings, sheds, that, believe it or not, they are searching.
In 2 miles, turn right onto Forest Hills Drive.
But we cannot take that right, because that's where the police have everything blocked off. It's Forest Hill. I thought it was Fox Hill for some reason. I kept calling it Fox Hill, but it's Forest Hill Drive is the road he went missing on. So, and there's no internet signal out here, so I cannot live stream this to you guys, but I can videotape it, and then when I get back to the hotel, show you guys the area, what we're dealing with, how wooded it is, and how big of an area that it actually is. It is massive. This is pretty much like looking for a needle in a haystack. So there's no Wi-Fi, no internet signal, no way to really connect to anything. I do have the drone that is going to go up, but I'm going to have to go out of the wooded area to connect everything, and then come back in to drone. Okay, so there was supposed to be a prayer vigil today, and as you can see, there's bodies of water out here, right? There's one right here to the right of me. See it? See that body of water? That's in somebody's yard. If you see my cursor over here, right to the right of me, that's a little pier, and that's a body of water just along the side of the road. And from what I understand, they are draining a pond somewhere near here. It's definitely not that pond, because that pond is full and there's nobody at it. But when I came through earlier, I got you guys some pictures of the searchers searching like abandoned property. And we're going to continue just to take a ride down here and just keep a lookout in the area. You never know. You just never know. So I'm driving pretty slow. The speed limit through here is like 55 too. But I don't want to miss anything, just in case, They're all focusing on one area, and this child by this point could be anywhere around here within, a 5-mile radius. And we're only 2 miles from the house. There was a helicopter just flew by. Okay, so the helicopter just went by, and no, I can't make the video bigger. I shot this on my phone in portrait mode, okay, because it's on my stand on the dash. So I'm actually driving. I'm not holding the phone. So this is just video of me driving around the area. So you can see, there's nothing. There's really nothing but woods on both sides. There's a little campground and there's a house here and then a house a mile up the road, but there's really not much out here. So the child really didn't make it far. What did he make it? 600 feet from the house? But, and you know, in a neighbor's yard, in a retention pond in the neighbor's yard. We're going to try to get the best footage we can out
In 1
here.
mile, turn right onto Forest Hills Drive.
Okay, Forest Hill Drive is where they went missing. Now, this is 1 mile out. So we're 1 mile from the road where he went missing. So, and as you can see, these woods are thick. The brush on the sides of the woods is really thick. So we're just going to keep our eyes out just in case we see anything. You know, this little boy could be anywhere in the woods all through here. All right, we're 1 mile from where he went missing. And it's nothing but woods. House is set way, way, way back off the road. So we don't want to go too fast. If that way I can see into the woods a little bit, but not a lot. And you know, we're slowly losing light at that. And but they are still out here continuing to search. The helicopter is still continuing to fly in a grid pattern. I've been watching it fly for about the last 30 minutes or so. I'm going to let this car pass me that's coming by. That way we don't have to rush. And we're going to continue to look for this small child. Okay. Now I got somebody else behind me. I want to be able to. Now, I don't know if the road was so busy because, you know, a lot of this was police and people out there, searchers and stuff like that, driving down the road, or if this road is just busy all the time. But to be in the middle of damn nowhere, it's a pretty busy road. Let these people pass. Now we're really, really close to where. This is one of these logging roads. Really, really close. We're going to turn around right here. Let this car pass. That way we're not rushing.
Proceed to the route.
I need to cut this off. I know where we're at. You can hear the helicopter right above us. We may try to get out and shoot some video also. Once I pass the location. It's just not a lot of places to really pull over. If you look, you can see the helicopter in the sky right now. See it right over there. And the road is coming up right here on the right where he went missing. But there's 2 deputies that are sitting at that road making sure nobody goes down it. They don't want people out here tromping through the woods because it will mess up the smell of the dogs. And
turn right onto Forest Hills Drive.
Right here. Got a couple kids out here kicking a soccer ball around. So, and as you can see, this is where they went missing right here. So they have that road pretty much blocked off with the deputies, so you can't go down it. But we are going to go up here and turn around and possibly. There's a house. They were searching that house earlier.
Proceed to the route.
Could you please shut up?
About 1.5 miles, turn left onto Burney Road.
They're searching all back there. All right. We'll go down here and turn around but you can see the fields. This is the area they're searching. All these wood lines, all the way down through here. I seen the searchers out here just a few minutes ago. My last pass, they were out there. That's what they were searching. So we're gonna turn in here and just back out. I'm gonna cut this off so I can. All right. So that was, of course, the daytime video. Well, evening time. Let me see if these other videos have posted yet. I have some stuff out there at night so you can see how dark it gets. Like, sad news today. If you're just tuning in, they found little Liam A. King deceased in a retention pond 600 feet from the house. The baby mama, her boyfriend, was supposed to be watching Liam. And okay, here we go. Here's a video of it at night. Okay, it has gotten so dark so fast out here. There's no street lights. The helicopter is still in the air. I got my bright lights on. We're going to continue to ride around and look. Okay. You never know. We may get lucky. We're about less than a mile from the home, and it's all woods. It's the middle of nowhere. No street lights. Let me roll this window up a little bit so you guys can hear me. So we sat out here. We checked out, the police coming and going, and it's wooded on both sides, but we're going to show you a little more of the left-hand side because he went missing on the left-hand side of the road. Of course, I got my brights on. And like I said, they were out here searching abandoned buildings, different things like that. There is a few bodies of water, and they're draining one. It should take about 10 hours to drain that pond. But this is what happens when you take your eyes off your kids, right? You got to keep your eyes on the kids at all time. You just never know what could happen, and tragedy can strike anybody at any time. And it's just so many fields. The helicopter's been flying way out here. Thank you. And doing a big circle. We've been monitoring the helicopter. Well, PJ has from the house of its flight pattern. And usually they search about a 5-mile radius. And of course, this road alone is 5 miles in the middle of nowhere. Now, I don't know what type of wild animals are out here. Maybe bear, deer. It is North Carolina. They ain't going to be nothing too crazy. I mean, I don't think they have mountain lions in this area. But definitely not a safe situation for a 7-year-old boy with autism that's not Vincent to be. Okay. Right. We've been riding now for 3-4 minutes. Not one street light. So the searchers were still in the woods. They're on ATVs and side-by-sides. And they've been out in these trails. And we don't know if this child has found a place to hunker down. Yes, you're definitely on the Blessed Express, Karen. Thank you guys for being here with me. I just wanted to give you guys a feel of this because the news, the news wasn't even able to get signal out there. They wasn't even filming nearby. So I wanted to show you the surroundings of this, what these searchers were dealing with and the situation that it was. You see, it's pitch black. You can't see. And that's with my bright lights on in the car. And they had some really good lights. But it got dark so fast. Within, 20 minutes, it was pitch black. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face. They had multiple search teams. They had a daytime search team. They had a nighttime search team. And it's just tragic that they did everything they could. I would have to say the police there, they did a phenomenal job. They treated this thing as a crime scene. They blocked everything off. They were on it nonstop. They called in people from neighboring counties to search and drain ponds. They took it real serious, real fast. But within the first 10 minutes of that boy missing, he was no longer with us. Okay. When he fell into that pond, it does not take but 30 seconds to drown. Okay, so he was probably gone fairly quick. So time the police got out there and they said they initially searched that pond, the perimeter of it, just, looking. He was already deceased at that time. So it's sad. It's definitely sad, but there was nothing they could do because the time the police got there, this boy was already drowned in that water. So it ain't from a lack of police work that he's gone. It's just these accidents can happen so fast. And this is the reason why you do not take your eyes off your kid. This is the reason we decided to sell tracking devices on our website where you get the hats, hoodies, shirts, buydollysoap.com. And we keep them right around cost because we want people to get them. We want you to put these on your grandkids, on children, seniors, anybody that could come up missing.
Turtle emoji, please check NY State Police report for missing Alex Thornton. It's a friend's missing adult son time.
Okay, Debbie, I will definitely check that out. Just if you could shoot me a reminder to my email so I don't forget. I am a little forgetful sometimes. I guess it comes with age and all that sticky icky I smoked when I was young. My email is Jimmy, Jimmy, Jams, Jamz, like Zorro, 757, Jimmy Jams 757 at gmail.com. Send me a reminder over there and I will definitely check into it and take a little look at it. I appreciate your donation. Thank you for being here with us. And guys, listen, so these tracking devices, technology, we need to use it for our benefit, right? Somebody goes missing, something happens. You got to be on it fast because it don't take long. Turtle Island will be on tonight. Yes, tonight is Tuesday. It is Turtle Island night, 9:30. We will be on the island for the first night of season 6. A lot of you guys don't know, but I do this little show on my other channel, Dolly Uncensored. It's kind of like Survivor for YouTubers. We take 30 YouTubers, we put them on this imaginary island, and we vote them off one by one. It's like a call-in show, and you got to tell why you want to vote the person off, and it's fun. And we get it down to one player, and that person is the Turtle Island Season 6 champion. So we've done, this will be our 6th season of doing it. And I can't believe it's went on this long. And we're going to see who's going to go home tonight. Totally different. It ain't got nothing to really do with true crime, guys. It's just something I do to break up the doom and gloom, okay? Because true crime is a lot of doom and gloom. And he's hiding or what? Now, of course, it's getting dark on us. There ain't much I can do in the pitch black out here. So we will be back out here, of course, search. And that link that PJ just posted right there, that is a link to some of the trackers, devices that we sell. Now, these tracking devices that we have up there for sale now, you pin them onto a clothing item and you can't get them off. Okay? So that way it can't fall off. The kid can't take it off. It can't take it out of his pocket. And it hooks right up to your iPhone. And you can track that tracker right through your iPhone. And it's great for kids going to school. Put it on a book bag. Put it inside their jacket. You never know. For $25, around that price, you can save your child's life. You can know where your child is at. I believe all kids need these. And I talked about Skechers. Shout out to Skechers. They have a shoe to where it has a little zipper in it and it will hold an air tag. And these air tags are the same as tracking devices. You can use your iPhone and you can track the movement. So these need to be on all kinds of things for kids, right? It is so important to know where your kids are at all time that $25, right? This Christmas, get your kids, your grandkids, your friends' kids. This is the best present you could get a child. Okay. Not only is it a good present, but it may save their damn life. Or if hateful say it, somebody kidnaps your child. And a lot of people don't think this can happen. Brandy Neal, Fruitland, Idaho. I flew out to Idaho, met with Brandy, Michael Monkey Vaughn's mother. And you know what I asked Brandy? I asked her, I said, Brandy, did you think this could ever happen to you? And she lived in a rural area, country, beautiful setting, a beautiful neighborhood. And Brandy looked right at me and said, Dolly, no, I never thought something like this could happen to me. And everybody thinks like that. This can't happen to me. Yes, it can. It absolutely can. And it ain't, you can live in the best neighborhood in the world and tragedy can strike. Okay. So you got to be prepared for that. And I hate to use G.I. Joe on you, but no one's half the battle. Okay. It can happen to you. You're halfway protected. Okay. Just by knowing these things can happen to you. You're not immune to tragedy. All right. Tragedy can strike anybody at any given time. And the best thing you can do is prepare yourself for that. First thing in the morning when the sun comes up. We'll technically be out here before the sun comes up. And of course, we will send a drone up and start droning a little outside of their radius that they're searching. Because there's a deer right there. Right? Okay, so I just seen a deer. Let's slow it down. I don't want one of those guys jumping out in front of me. And now, there are neighbors, and there is a little mobile home campground right here to the right, which is less than 5 miles away. Okay, so there are people in this area. Is this a situation where this child could have been kidnapped? I highly don't think so. I think, as you can see, there's a campground right there. We're going past right now is the campground. So there is a camping area out here. And there is... Look, you can see my radio right there. It says it's 8 o'clock. That's how dark it is with my high beams on at 8 o'clock. Okay. Damn, it is dark. For 8 o'clock, I live in the city. At 8 o'clock, you can see everything. We got street lights though. It's lit up like a Christmas tree around here. But now, not on my road. I don't have a street light on my road, but when I get to the main road, there's all street lights. So it's lit up there. But I have a ton of lights on my house. So my stuff is pretty lit up. But at 8 o'clock, I can see the 8 on the dash right there. It is pitch black out there. A fire station at the end of this road that we'll be going up to. And I don't know if they're using that as a command center or if they have the command center set up on I think it's Fox Hill Drive. It's Forest Hill Drive. Now that I know, okay, it's Forest Hill Drive. Because we cannot get down there to find out. So even media has been broadcasting from way down here because there's no way for them to live stream. They cannot get internet service out here. So they have set up farther away from the actual scene to bring you guys the news. But what I did was just pre-recorded it with my video and went out there and shot video. And of course, I will air all this when I get to a hotel room and can upload these videos for you guys because you ain't going to be able to see them right now because there's absolutely no signal out here. I don't know how people live where they can't make a phone call. That's crazy. Unless you have a landline. But cell service, unless there's a certain service that is good in this area, like maybe AT&T or Sprint. But what I have definitely does not work. And from according to the media, what they've been using don't really work. So who knows, right? This boy, did he just vanish, or is there something more to this? Are they going to find him? It's once you see the area, like you're looking at it now, you realize, oh my God, this kid is lost in the middle of nowhere with nothing around. Okay, fields, woods,
There's a couple farmhouses, you know, but they're far apart. Like here's one we're passing right now. But then you look, and there ain't no neighbors. There's just woods and fields. And I know he's dressed in some darker clothing, which ain't making it any easier at night. It would be a miracle if we seen this child. That would be so great. But the chances of that are very slim. So unless he just happens to walk across the street, you never know. Well, as a child, you would think you'd be scared to be in the woods, that you would be near a main road or a road itself.
Do I have trackers for Android? No, I am going to be adding some up there, okay, for Android. But right now, everything that we have available is for iPhone, okay. A la cotton candy lotion. I'm not for sure. That's a PJ question. Right now, all our trackers are iPhone trackers, but be on the lookout by some compatible to both. Okay, our trackers are compatible to both. You can use it with iPhone or Android. All right, PJ, the boss, just like said that they're compatible to both.
There's a little house.
Huh? I heard you. Compatible to both.
And of course, there's some mailboxes, but that go to nothing. There ain't even no house. There's a little road right here that goes off into the woods. Let's see. That's just a dirt road to somebody's house.
Pretty scary out there, ain't it, guys?
I mean, if you want it to be away from everything, this would be a nice place to live. But you wouldn't want to go missing out here. You would be hard to find. And I don't know. The police had night crews come in last night that searched through the night. And I'm sure they're going to do that again today. I would hope anyway, because you know it hasn't been even 48 hours yet, and they usually search real heavily that first week. You know, push really hard with all their assets to. Here's the fire station, so they do have there's a school right here. All right, so there's a school academy. And I believe this is the fire station. I believe. I'm not positive. I did see it when I came in, but it's so dark all of a sudden. At least we're getting down here where there is a street light. That's the first street light I've saw.
There's a street light. Look, the first one.
Here's the fire station.
Right, the fire station got a street light, but the rest of it don't.
This is the fire department. Reflective address signs available here. I don't see the command center set up here, but I would think this would probably be the best place to set up the command center. It would be, you know, this area here.
We got a basketball court.
All right. Well, I'm sure these were the first people to respond was right here. And you can see a lot of these vehicles are probably parked here so they can respond to that situation.
Okay. So that was just some of the video footage I shot for you guys. I do have a bunch of pictures and things that I took from location. Matter of fact, here we go. These are the searchers. I'm going to share this with you guys. And these are the searchers in the woods that were out there looking. The police. That's one of the abandoned buildings they were searching. You can see where they were Fox Hill. You can see the searchers going into the woods. More the police, more the searchers out there in the woods looking. Me wrestling an alligator. Okay. Totally different picture. I don't know how that got in there with it, but that was when I was in Florida. But tragic news if you just tuned in. Little Liam was found deceased in a retention pond less than 600 feet from the home that he went missing at, and the mother's boyfriend was supposed to be watching him. Now, I would say if you're supposed to be watching a child with autism, 7 years old, you leave them unattended, that is criminal child neglect, which is a felony, which is punishable up to 10 years in prison, right? Now, should he be in jail? That's my question for you guys. Should the boyfriend go to jail? If you believe so, press 1. If you think not, press 2. Just tragic accident, he don't belong in jail. I would say 1. I would say it's child neglect. You were left in the care of that child and you left him out there by himself and he drowned in a pond. You are somewhat responsible for that. Okay. That's just my opinion. I mean, I ain't saying you got to go to prison forever, but hey, you're going to camp out for a little bit. All right. You got to go lay it down a minute. Now, that's just my opinion. You may disagree with that because I've seen a 2 in the chat room already. You know, like, listen, that you 2 people would probably let anybody babysit your kids. I'm playing. You can't just leave anybody. You can't leave your kids with just anybody. All right. You got to make sure whoever you leave your kids with or your grandkids with are responsible. Okay. That they're responsible. If you leave somebody to watch your kid, the whole thing is watch my kid. That means watch them. Right? 2 eyes on them at all times. Not just leave them outside so they can get hurt in the middle of, there's, listen, these people knew there was lakes and bodies of water around. Okay. And if you're a parent of an autistic child, which he wasn't, okay, he should have known that these kids love water, right? They like being near the water. And a lot of people are saying, no, he shouldn't be in jail. I think, the father would disagree with that. I think the father would say, yeah, this man needs to be in jail. He was supposed to watch my kid and he didn't. He took his eyes off. You never heard that saying, you took your eyes off the prize? And the prize is the child. When you're a caregiver, that's what you're supposed to do, is you're supposed to take care of them children. And that quite didn't happen. Now, I ain't saying that the man needs, he made a mistake. Everybody, people make mistakes. We know nobody's flawless. I ain't saying that he needs to go to prison forever, but I do believe there should be some punishment for this because something so bad happened. Justice has to be served. I ain't saying that the justice has to be destroy your whole life, but you kind of did cause a life by not keeping your eye on a special needs child. This ain't a regular child that you can say, hey, don't get near that water. All right, we good? And the kid goes, yeah, we're good. I won't get near the water, I promise. This ain't a child like this. This is a non-verbal child. So you can tell that child all day long not to do it. That don't mean that child's going to listen. And there's waters here. There's dangers in the woods, right? Like, listen, we had a house out in the country and I knew there was dangers. Don't go out into the woods by yourself, right? Don't do that. There's dangerous rattlesnakes and stuff like that. It was more snakes. You got to worry about snakes, especially in Georgia. There's a lot of rattlesnakes. So as a kid, people tell you, don't go in the woods by yourself. So as a kid, stay on the perimeter away from those woods because in those woods, there's damn rattlesnakes and you get bit out there, and you're so far from everything. At time you get to the hospital, your ass might be dead from a rattlesnake bite. So, there's dangers and there's those same dangers in Tennessee. I mean, in North Carolina, there's snakes and poisonous, venomous snakes in that area of the woods that you got to be on the lookout for. And, yeah, I mean, just danger. So to me, I think just tune in, Dolly. Did Dolly make it home? Yes, I made it home. I'm safe. I'm in the studio. I'm alive. Especially near the water. Okay. You got those water moccasins, cottonmouth, right? And they're bad, especially near water. I know that. I've been walked up on so many different water moccasins that it's unreal because they're real bad here in Virginia. Virginia has a lot of water moccasins. So does DC, Washington, DC. Almost set on one in DC, a water moccasin. Snakes, Georgia, rattlesnakes. Okay, you got to watch out for them damn rattlesnakes in Georgia. But yeah, since then, since I've started, I learned a lot about the whole. Now, I carry snake boots with me that they can't bite through. They're big ass boots. I didn't have them with me in Tennessee. I mean, in North Carolina, because I didn't plan on going into the woods. My whole searching was going to be drone searching anyway. It wasn't because I was by myself. Now, if I have somebody with me, I go into the woods, and I'll even go into the woods by myself because what me and PJ's done is we have walkie talkies. So I let her know my location. I go out into the woods. So if something happens, she knows where I'm at in the woods, or what part of the woods I'm in. So we use walkie talkies, or sometimes she'll go out with me in the woods. So, and that's not deep in the damn, forest woods. We're talking about little patches of woods. Usually when people go missing, or we're looking, it ain't really, really thick, deep woods like that. That is deep woods. Like you could walk for miles and miles into the woods. That's a little bit different than what we usually search. But you got to be careful because you don't know the environment. There could be wells, there could be mine shafts, culverts, just different things to get hurt or fall into. And next thing you know, rescue teams are out there searching for your ass, right? So, even then, these trackers we sell, we need to put one on me. All right. So in my search gear, I may add a tracking device to my search gear because, I'm over here preaching track everything that could go missing. And yet I ain't tracking myself. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm not doing these things that I first did by myself like I did in the beginning. Like in the beginning, I was walking through the woods and the hollers of Tennessee all by myself. And people were like, listen, Dolly, we know you're trying to do the right thing, but what if you get hurt? You're so far out and there's nobody around. You could break a leg and die, because you can't get help. You can't get the water. You can't, you know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, you out there dead somewhere and we're searching for you. You need to not go in those woods by yourself. And I've listened to that advice, so I tend not to anymore. But in the beginning, I didn't give a damn. I'm like, all right, if a grizzly bear runs up at me, I'd be like, I'm just assed out of luck, but I never really had no problems, thank God. Because, I got little baby Jesus with me and, sometimes he protects. I ain't saying he always will, but luckily, nothing bad ever happened to me going out into those woods. So everybody say a little prayer for Liam's family tonight. They're going to need that, right? They're going to need that. I feel terribly for the mother. She made a really bad decision leaving with her boyfriend, and for the father that has nothing to do with this. It wasn't his decision. And he seems like a nice man. Prayers for them people. And, this is something they'll have to deal with for the rest of their life. These nightmares don't go away. These are the ones that last forever. And let's hope that the next case where this happens, that the baby's found. And like I said, people, a lot of this could be avoided by these devices you can buy. You can buy them on our website. You can buy them at Walmart. You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them anywhere. You don't even have to buy it from me. Okay? You can buy it anywhere. But these items you need. You need these for your kids. You need these for your grandkids, your great grandkids. Your luggage, your dog, your pet, your damn pet bird. Okay. If you got a pet bird, even if you own a sloth or damn alligator, tracking devices. Okay. Tracking devices. I couldn't preach this enough. Like I can just a whole sermon on put these things on your kids, protect your kids. You know, we sit around and ask, what can we do to protect our kids? That's the question almost every night we ask here. What can we do to protect? This is what we can do. Okay, we can do this. This is easily accessible to anybody at any budget. Okay, so there's some tracking devices that sell for much as like $10. That probably ain't the best one. I would say try to go in the middle somewhere. Like you don't need one that's $500. You don't need one that's $10. You know, you need something in the middle. You know, something decent that's going to work when it needs to work. But I wouldn't recommend spending unless you got it like that. Then buy the nicest one you can get. But it's better to be safe than sorry. And I'm going to end it with that, okay? Because I think that's the best advice I can give each and every one of you out there. Even if you don't have a kid, you probably have a grandkid, you have a niece, you have a nephew, you know, and these would be an awesome present. Like when they get it, they're going to be like, what the hell is this? What am I going to do with this? But when it's needed, it's there. And you could be the person to save somebody's life just by gifting that item to somebody. All right. Dolly loves you. I will see y'all later tonight. I'll probably be back live here going over just some true crime stuff before Turtle Island. Turtle Island is on my other channel. 9:30 tonight. Y'all start spreading the word. First game of Turtle Island is tonight. Somebody's going home. Who will it be? Okay. Who will it be? Until then, you guys be safe. Dolly loves you. Peace.